There's definitely George Phillips is not someone who just like will do things last minute
No.
or you've always had a sense of urgency. Like every time I talk to you, it's like, hey man, I need you to do this. I got this set up. Like you've always been finding ways to make other people's lives better.
That's what you're supposed to do.
And but I'm still waiting for you to ask me for something. So that's maybe that'll be at the end of the video. I don't know. You're gonna surprise attack me, but ultimately, no. I think that too. You're talking about the different cities being represented. I know, like I grew up in Willoughby, and it wasn't until speaking of town halls, there's a town hall at Lakeland Community College.
Right.
I don't know, man. It's probably like 7, 8 years ago, but that's where that Go Lake County. Now the Go Lake County golf outing will be back. Just Gary and I both had 2 little kids, and it's very apparently that takes up a lot of time. So, but
yeah.
the golf outing will be back. But for me, like that whole Go Lake County phrase, that was something I said and didn't really think too much about it. But like people are like, yeah, Go Lake County, and so for you, that's even part of your mission is for Lake County, for Ohio, and just and for the future, right?
That's the most
So
important one
okay,
of the three. I'm a
correct.
father. You're a father.
Yeah.
Gary's a father.
Yeah.
And we're already running. We've hit the ground running. We're in our careers doing a plethora of things.
Plethora. That's a good word. I like
But
that.
JJ's turn's coming up, and I feel a personal responsibility, and this has nothing to do with politics. I feel a personal responsibility to make life better for JJ. You have a personal responsibility, obviously, that's your son,
Yeah.
to make life better for him so that when it's his turn to do things, he's got all the tools needed. Okay. And that's to segue into one of my platforms, education. Education is one of my top priorities as a representative. We have to create an educational culture that prepares our youth for the future, for their careers. When I was a professor at Notre Dame, oftentimes my classes were 2 days a week, Tuesday and Thursday, for example. So on Tuesday, I would teach the textbook. Here's the syllabus, here's the textbook, let's go through things, and that prepares the students for their writing, their tests, whatever they need to successfully get through the class. But then on Thursdays, what I like to do is I called it like real world applicability day. So how did what we learn on Tuesday apply to the real world on Thursday? And that's where I would bring in you to guest speak.
And that would ruin it. I'm sorry. Just kidding.
But I would bring in, I taught a business and government class.
Yeah.
And one of the topics in the textbook was the federal budget and how the money's allocated, and how it's spent, what you're allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do. And I brought in 3 or 4 individuals that worked in various industries, public and private sector, that received government funding. And they talked about it. So it made what was on the textbook come to life.
Yeah.
And that's going to be very important to me during my time down in the State House. And also to focus on not just, high school to college, but high school to vocational education, trade schools, different things like that.
Manufacturing, all that.
You create those public-private partnerships to allow our children to have options upon graduation to do what they want to do for the rest of their career and go out there and make it a better society.